Creo Parametric 4.0, Lesson 7, Part 3. The last part of this lesson, we are going to create a family table so we can have multiple instances of this particular project. I'm going to go to my Tools tab in the ribbon and click on Family Table. And we are going to add to our table contents. So what we want to select is our cut features. So the first cut feature was the bottom. Select feature over here, not to mention. And the second one, I'm going to hold my control key down, was here. Third one was over here. And then we had the two holes. Now, in reality, if we create an instance that does not have the surface on it, then the hole is not going to show up either. But I wanted to put all of them in my list here for the items so that I can turn them on and off. And this really represents what was added to the casting, or in other words, our workpiece. We're doing the machined part right now, or the design part if you want to call it that. I'm going to click OK. And this is going to create a table. And the first instance is arm. We can create an instance row. And on this one here, we're going to call this one machined. And go by what's in the book. If I hit enter, it gives me another line. And this one is going to be the casting. In fact, I want to go back to the machine. I'm going to call this the design size or part. And by hitting enter, by the way, it gave me another instance. I really don't need an extra instance. So we have a design, we have the casting, and this one could be the workpiece. And this one here, edit, and we want to delete a row. So if you accidentally hit enter, it's okay, you just get an extra one. So what this is doing for us is giving us the option. We have our instance name, and the generic, or the arm, the first instance here, is going to have everything shown on that model, as you can see down here. All of it is shown. If we go through the design part, we want everything to be on. If we want the workpiece, we actually want these to be turned off. In other words, not displayed. Like so. Now, we could delete, add, copy, a lot of different things you can do in your family table here. And click OK. I'm going to make sure I've got everything on here. We could add one more instance. And I'm just going to call this one dims. And in dims, I actually want to go and add some other information here. I think we're going to go to the dim one, add, and we're going to pick on dimensions, and let's see what we've got for dimensions. There's the dimension I want, the 5. I'm going to add 5 to this list. D3. Okay. So now with D3, this one's listed here as 5 inches. And under this version here, I'm going to change this to 7. So I have one that shows all the dimensions called dims. And I'm going to click on that one and open it. And you can see I have an instance that has my length to 7 inches rather than the original design size. So I'll go back into my family table here. Let's say we want to also on this one turn off something. Let's turn off the two holes. Open that one, and now the holes are gone from that instance. Opens up a new window, so be a little careful here. There's other windows underneath here. So we're going to close that window and go back on our family table and open our workpiece. So this is the original casting dimensions that we used. And in the book, there is a sample at the very end of the lesson here of Pro Manufacturing. It's kind of an older version of it, but it still is the same thing. You take and you put the casting and the machine part together, and the difference in the material, that's the material removal that you're going to see when you program your CNC machines to machine the part, manufacture the part. Now, Control D. So we have one instance here. Now, if I wanted to, let's save this. And I'm going to close this window. And I want to open the arm. And it's going to ask me for which one do I want to open. Normally we would work on our design, or if we're still want to do something on the casting, we could just simply work here. It would propagate. So we can choose right in the very beginning. We can also choose which one of these we want to see by column. So let's say we want to open up this one here. So that's the one that's going to come to us. So this is, if you look down here in the, it says instance DIMS. So that will show on your screen in the lower left-hand corner. Go back to this, and we'll go and select the arm again. And let's click on the generic. Now, the next thing I want to do is, or the last thing I want to do is click on annotate and find out what the annotation plane is set as. Right now it's the top. So that's the plane that's active. Any annotation is going to go on that. I'm going to turn it around a little bit. Top, like so. And I'm going to show annotations, but before I do that, I'm going to select them over here in the model tree. So the features I want to show, hold down my shift key and select everything and show dimensions. And we get all the dimensions for the part. I'm just going to turn them on and keep them. Now you don't see them because I have the annotations turned off. And the reason for that is we have the annotation for the hole, and I didn't want to see the hole note previously. So we're going to go to, how about no hidden line? And these are all off. And again, if I can click on this, I'm going to lose everything. So on any of these, we can click on it and then move it to where we want to go. So we can create a 3D annotated model definition. Any of these dimensions you want to place. Some of these you don't want. And you can see the choices you have here. Erase them. And if you look up at the top here, your ribbon dialog has come up, and you have all kinds of options for flipping arrows, how changing the display of everything. There's a lot of things that you can do to clean this up for a 3D model annotation. And in this case, you probably wouldn't want to even generate a drawing. You can use the model definition. This completes lesson 7.